This week in gaming and tech news. Call of Duty's been dropped from Xbox Game Pass. A PlayStation executive reveals why he was fired. A Meta are tracking workers' keystrokes and clicks. Let's get into it. But first, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And it just allows you to be updated with the latest gaming and tech news as well. It means so much. I just want to improve and make better videos. And you can always unsubscribe. Now let's get into the news. Okay, first of all, I'm going to go over Xbox Game Pass price drop. Under the new CEO, as Call of Duty's been removed, as Xbox CEO Asher Sharma has officially said, Xbox Ultimate subscription will be reduced from $20.99 to $22.99, and the PC specific Game Pass version will be $13.99. dropped from $16.49. I did expect this to happen. I felt it didn't really make sense for Call of Duty to be on Game Pass, as probably the people who want to play Call of Duty buy it, as they wouldn't want to, they'd be spending more on the game over the time. Unless they made a specific membership for all the Call of Duties, as there is one every year, that would actually probably make quite a bit of sense. They don't buy the Call of Duties each year, they just subscribe to get them. That could be something they do in the future, and Call of Duty did cost Microsoft a lot of money. That's probably the reason they increased Game Pass in the first place. So people who don't play Call of Duty still had to pay up because of Xbox's mistakes. Probably most people that buy Game Pass don't even play Call of Duty, so it didn't really work out. I am seeing positive signs from Xbox CEO Asher Sharma, and at first I was very speculative because he was coming from the AI division. And there's still possibilities of this to go badly with them implementing more AI. They did say they're gonna implement Copilot into the Xbox. But she's really doing her research. She's talking to the community. They're doing fan fest again in different cities across the world. It's really nice to see something that gaming's about being brought together, and I feel like recently it's definitely been quite a toxic environment. For many different reasons. An ex-PlayStation exec messaged about saying what's bad about Game Pass, and Asher Sharma replied to it saying, "You basically do want to get lunch sometime." So it's just cool to see, and hopefully Xbox does improve. Maybe the future of Game Pass is also that future games like Microsoft exclusive games don't come on launch. That might be something they do as well. Game Pass did used to be one of the best subscriptions out there, and I don't know, tell me, does this make you more inclined to get Game Pass now they're removing Call of Duty? PC specific version of Game Pass is probably a really good Game Pass here as well, so we just have to see what the future of Xbox and Game Pass has in for us. Next! Okay, PlayStation exec reveals why he got fired. So former PlayStation veteran Shuei Yoshida said he was fired as president of Sony Worldwide Studios after clashing with then CEO Jim Ryan. His top job was working with PlayStation's internal teams such as Naughty Dog, Sony Santa Monica, Sucker Punch, Guerrilla Games. But back in 2019, it was announced he was stepping down to head a new PlayStation-backed indie development initiative. Yoshida claimed that he was asked by Ryan to do the indie job or leave the company, something he did eventually do, but in 2025. Is effectively a demotion which he got, which he blamed on having disagreed with Ryan over some ridiculous things. He's saying he helped Santa Monica make God of War, Naughty Dog with Uncharted and The Last of Us, and Sucker Punch to make The Ghost of Tsushima. But in 2019, he was, after 11 years of leading the first party development, he was fired from the role, and Jim Ryan wanted to remove him from the first party because he didn't listen to him. He asked to do some ridiculous things, and I said no. I'll put the article in the description below if you want to read more. But we always have to take both sides into account. But it does quite line up that PlayStation making these, especially in the PS4 era and start of the PS5, they're making these banger first party titles, Last of Us, Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima. Now they're just focusing on these live service games like Concord, the New Horizon game, and there's also rumors of them making another extraction shooter on top of Marathon. What's going on there? I know they had the success with Helldivers, but you need to, like, you were so successful with your first party single player games. So I definitely could see what Jim Ryan was asking him to do. He was probably like just saying, no, I don't want to do these live service games, it's not going to work. It's not what our players want. And like, then Jim Ryan's like, yeah, you're gone, but man, we would make so much money if we do this. Have you seen Fortnite? So I definitely see this lining up as like why Sony are focusing so much on the live service. Next. Okay, it used to be that your boss would just monitor how much time you spend doing work on your computer, seeing how much time you're spending on your breaks, etc. to see how productive you actually are. And then if you're quite unproductive, they'll probably fire you and replace you with a human. Meta are now tracking workers' clicks and keystrokes to train AI. And so you might be like the most productive employee. They're going to be using your data to train an AI model that will still be able to do it quicker than you, and then your job's gone. You're training your replacement essentially. I do think this is going to be used in a lot more companies. So I saw like a video on X with, I think it was in a factory in India that had cameras attached to the head monitoring like stitching fabrics together, so AI could eventually do that. And it's just like, and once one model's got it, they can just have that model in all of them and they all just learn together essentially. So this is definitely going to be a future, as you don't need to pay for employees when I have AI to do it for me. A Meta spokesperson told the BBC that if we're building agents to help people complete everyday tasks, our models need real examples of how people actually use them. But they did say the data is not used for any other purpose and have it as safeguards in place to protect their sensitive content. A Meta employee who asked not to be identified said they felt very dystopian, which makes so much sense. Your content being monitored. And I know they can say they're not going to use the data, but can you trust them? And the Meta have already laid off 2,000 employees this year as well. So, but you're just going to have it in the back of the mind. I'm training, it's probably going to replace me, and I can do it anytime. Your job is just not safe, and how much stress does that have? Yeah, it's just so cooked. I guess it's just the times we live in. Next. Time for the quickfire rounds. Okay, Ubisoft have cancelled another game, Alatari, which was an Animal Crossing inspired game. Also, more news on Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. It won't include DLC or multiplayer, as it was not really speculation, but questioning whether the multiplayer from the previous Black Flag would come into this one. Okay, SpaceX cuts a deal to potentially buy Cursor for $60 billion, with SpaceX announcing an odd arrangement to either acquire the automated programming platform Cursor for $60 billion or pay a fee of $10 billion if the deal doesn't go through. Framework have announced that you can now use external GPUs to turn its laptops into a desktop PC. So giving laptops so much power, and imagine just being able to plug like a 5090 straight into a laptop. That's just insane. But I really like what Framework are doing at the moment. I just like to keep up to date with them. A group of unionized Builder Rocket Boy employees have initiated legal proceedings against the studio over allegations of data privacy violations related to the installation of surveillance software. I literally was just talking about that earlier, how your boss would monitor your productivity, and just sad to see that it's actually still happening. Okay. But apparently Builder Rocket Boy leaders have been accused of refusing to disclose what data was collected and how it was stored. We just have to see how this develops. A game I am quite excited for is Splatoon Raiders, and a release date has been confirmed with July 23rd and a price tag of $49.99 or $59.99 for the physical version. PlayStation begins UK and Ireland age verification checks, with players being invited to verify their age via a facial scan ID or mobile number. Some unverified UK players will not be able to access features like messages and voice chat without verifying your age. Yelp have announced improvements to its chatbot, with the goal of the chatbot to search less and do more. In a press release, Yelp says the assistant will be at the center of the app experience, where it can answer questions, make recommendations, and even handle bookings in a single conversation. Man's definitely gonna book you for like the wrong hotel. It's like all the same, but you just get booked for a different country or something. We'll have to see how this actually goes. Forza 6 has reportedly already sold 500,000 copies on Steam, and it's not even out yet. People are really hyped for this Forza 6, and I'm really hyped as well. We just have to see how this game delivers next month. Tropic have announced Claude Design, which is a competitor to apps like Figma, where you can design using their own models to generate mock-ups, design, and prototypes. Apple has named John Ternus as the new CEO to replace Tim Cook. He will be the CEO from September 1st this year, after Tim Cook stepping down after 15 years. Johnny Siraj will take John Ternus's role of Chief Hardware Officer. WhatsApp are testing a Plus subscription that adds stickers and more to get some more money each month. So I guess it's kind of like Discord Nitro feature, but yeah, we just have to see what it's limited to a number of users on Android at the moment, and support for iOS will come later. Even more subscriptions, man. Take-Two boss Strauss Zelnick suggested that AI could replace Elon Musk's job. The man works 20 hours a day. If AI were going to take anyone's job, wouldn't it take his job, the richest guy on earth? Wouldn't that job be number one for AI to take? Why is he so busy? By the way, then he also stated, by the way, why am I working harder than ever despite the fact that I totally accepted AI into every part of my life? He's kind of, I don't know, fighting back against the idea of AI replacing all humans in employment. And finally, a cloud development platform for sale was hacked, and it was compromised due to a third-party AI tool. And apparently, a person from the Shiny Hunters, who also claimed to be behind the Rockstar hack, posted some data online, including employee names, email addresses, and activity timestamps. And a limited subset of its customers would be affected by the hack. Hopefully that gets all sorted. Thank you guys for watching, and that's this week's gaming and tech news, and I'll see you in the next one.
The latest gaming and tech news every week. Keeping nerds up to date. Yeah, you know the rest.